Welcome back to Kitchen Engineering, and today we're going to be deep frying some things. I got both mozzarella sticks and chicken tenderloins that were available for it, and beer batter. All for my new deep fryer I just bought. Now you're going to need flour, several containers, and eggs and beer. You can use water, but beer is better. First thing you have to do is make the beer batter. It's better to buy it pre-made at the store because it just makes it much simpler. And make sure to get beer if you're old enough for it. After pouring in, whether it be the beer or water, make sure to mix it until you get a smooth mixture. Remember to mix until you reach a pancake batter-like mixture. Make sure to whisk the egg until it is completely mixed. Also remember that heating a thing of oil long enough to get it to the proper temperature is key. This particular model takes about 13 minutes to fully heat up. I'm going to start it now. Onward with the prep. I'm going to first prepare the mozzarella sticks. Since these sticks are rather long, I'm going to be cutting them in half and making it into 8 smaller cheese sticks, like so. Now remember, the steps are egg, flour, batter, back to the plate. First, I'm going to put all of the cheese sticks directly in so I can get them all at once, and then transfer from the egg to the flour, making sure to shake off any egg before transferring it to the flour. Once it's in there, cover them all with flour before transferring them to the batter. After transferring them to the batter, make sure to cover them all and then put them back into the flour. It's a good idea to have a container with a top so you can shake it around and get the flour over everything. Then you transfer it back to the plate before you fry it. Most people don't transfer it back to the flour because it wastes flour, but this is how I do it. Make sure to get your basket ready and put all of it in there above the flour so that any extraneous flour can fall back into it. I'm just going to dump them in. Make sure to separate them all. You don't want them to fry together, or you do. I'm not in charge of you, just telling you how. Remember to cook it at 350 or more degrees, and that it should take 2 to 3 minutes per batch. I'm only doing one batch today, so once it reaches the full amount, I'll put it in now. Now that it's in, I wait 2 to 3 minutes. It's a good idea sometimes to have a fan going while you're frying stuff. Also remember that the steam that is coming off of this is very hot. It is at 2 minutes and looks like it's almost ready. It's at 3 minutes now, so it's time to lift it up and put it into the resting position. These extra brown things on the sides here are just excess flour. You can just clean them off pretty easily, just don't touch them with your fingers. Let's test out one of the mozzarella sticks. After opening them up, it appears that 2 minutes would have been best because most of the cheese is melted and turned into the crust itself. Next up is the chicken. What I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer the chicken into the batter, then from the batter into the flour. I'm going to cover it right before I put it into the fryer, which will be cooking at 300 degrees. Now that it is nice and covered with the batter, I'm going to transfer it over to the flour so I can shake it all over it. Now that it has been thoroughly breaded, I'm going to transfer it over to the fryer. Here goes the first one. Second. Third. And should be able to hold the fourth. Well, we are about 12 minutes in, and the chicken is looking really good. I'll give it another 5 minutes before pulling it out and seeing exactly how it looks. Chicken here doesn't seem to be popping as much as it once was, which means that there's not as much water in there and it's really starting to cook. We are 14 minutes in. See? And whenever I pick it up and move it around, some of the condensation that stays on the roof ends up dripping back in, and that's the reason why you hear it now. Okay, it is about 20 minutes now. Let's go and see how it looks. Looks about right, so let's pull it out. Looks pretty good. Let's go and dump it out and cut it open and see how cooked it looks. I cut it open and it seems to be properly cooked. Now I just need to clean out the or filter and recycle the oil, which I'll cover in my next video. Project number 2 should be out in about 2 weeks. Coming up next week, pecan project number 3. Combining the experimental with the practical, classical pecan pie recipe.